Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Robin and this is Robin Reads, and this is my co-host Blair. Bubby, say hi. Say hi to the people. He's kind of shy sometimes, but not really. Before I get into this video, I just want to remind everybody that on this Saturday, April 10th at 7 p.m., I will be co-hosting a live show with my friends Ray from Bookmark Chronicles and Dasha from Mythic Pages about all things Grishaverse. I hope you'll all join us because it's going to be such a good time, like a really good time. So I want to introduce you guys to my new quarterly series, Bookends, where I put an end to all of the unread books on my shelves. Like, seriously, it's a problem. At the beginning of the year in my goals video, I said one of my goals was to reduce the number of unread books on my physical TBR, and here we are. I was inspired by Emma over at Drinking by My Shelf. She does this series, these videos called Balancing the Books. I'll leave like her latest one down below. So she was the inspiration for this, but honestly, I really need to do this because it was my goal. I put the goal out there and now I need to hold myself accountable. Okay, so this is how we're gonna do it. I am going to tell you the books on my shelves that I read over the past few months from January to the end of March. And I'm also going to tell you what books I bought between January and March. Hopefully at the end of this video, I'll have had less books than I started with. That's the goal. This wouldn't be fun without any consequences. In the off chance, I'm sure it's not going to happen, but in the off chance that I have more books than I started with, for every book that I'm over, it will equal a month that I cannot buy books. So if I'm over by 2 books, then I can't buy books for 2 months. What did I just get myself into? So I'm not going to go into depth into all of these books. That'll come at a later time in different videos, wrap-ups, reviews. And I'm not going to talk about books that I read on ebooks or borrowed from the library because they weren't unread books on my physical shelf. So these are solely physical books that live sad, dusty lives on my shelves. So let's get into these books. In my goals video, I said that I had 116 unread books on my shelves, but turns out I actually have 118. I let a friend borrow 2 books and I didn't factor them in until she handed them back to me, and I was like, oh, what are these? And then she was like, they're your books. I was like, oh, yep, those would be mine. So here we are. We started 118. I cannot have more than 118 books, unread books in here by the end of this video. So in January, I read A Feast for Crows by George R.R. Martin. I've been reading like this series. This is my first time. I still have one more left, but I read that. I read Furthermore by Tahereh Mafi. A is for Alibi by Sue Grafton. You Can't Touch My Hair by Phoebe Robinson. And then I also read, in anticipation of the live show, I read Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. I had also read Shadow and Bone that month, but that was a reread for me, so that didn't count. So, I was off to a great start. I was like, yes, look at me reading books. And then I was like, well, since I'm reading books, you know what? I might as well buy some. So I did. And I bought, I didn't buy a ton of books, but I did buy a few. I bought Beartown by Fredrik Backman. He is an author that I really, really like. So, and I can't believe I've never actually read this. I feel I'm late to this Beartown party. I hope I like it too. Well, I guess we'll see. I also got The Vegetarian by Han Kang. Go Tell It on the Mountain by James Baldwin. I've actually never read any James Baldwin, so I'm really excited to get to this, hopefully soon. I'm going to make it a priority. I'm going to get to this in the next quarter. I also got The Sound of Things Falling by Juan Gabriel Vasquez. This and The Vegetarian are both books in translation, and I kind of wanted to read more translated works this year, so I'm doing that. I also got House of Rougeau by Jenny Jackal. And also I can't tell you what a lot of these books are about because, as we know, I never know what the synopses are. And like I could make it up, but then what if I'm completely wrong? Could be a good time for me. You may hate it. And then I also got How to Pray by Pete Greig. This is a book that I'm reading for my Bible study class, and we're like going through it or whatever. So I had to buy it. And that wasn't bad for January. I feel like I'm at, I read more than I bought. So that's good. And then February rolled around and I read some things. I read Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. Loved it, by the way. I read We're Going to Need More Wine by Gabrielle Union. Also loved it. I finished this in February, but I had started this in January. This is Thomas Jefferson, The Art of Power. One of my other things is I'm going through presidential biographies, and so we're on Jefferson. So yeah, I read it though. Then I was gifted Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. They came as a set. Once again, going through the Grishaverse. So I was gifted these. I had them on ebook, but I was telling a friend that I wanted to read them like physically, and so he bought them for me. But I read them both in February, like within weeks of getting them. So that happened. But while I read those, I bought some more books in February. So then I was like, you know what? I'm still doing great. I'm gonna buy some more books. So I picked up The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson. Gods of Jade and Shadow by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. And then at the very, very end of February, I knew that I was going to be reading these anyway, so I picked up King of Scars because how could I not have Nikolai books on my shelves? And then I pre-ordered Rule of Wolves. That was at the very end of February, so that happened. So I think I'm still good. I think I'm still on track, maybe. So then we get to March. I read some shit. I read King of Scars. You can't see that glare. I read King of Scars, and I didn't read Rule of Wolves. It came on like the last day of March. I just read King of Scars. And then I read Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert. Stiff by Mary Roach. My Life on the Road by Gloria Steinem. Actually, did not finish this, but it counts because I started it and I'm not going to pick it back up. So there's that. And The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren. And you thought I was going to say that's all, but I bought books in March. The Last Founding Father by Harlow Giles Unger. I don't even know why I thought I was going to remember that name. I wasn't. This is the biography for James Madison. Nope, for James Monroe. Too many James. Like, was James the only name that was poppin' at that time? I don't know, but this is from Monroe. And then I got The Conductors by Nicole Glover. So for the last two books that I got, I picked up because I am easily impressed upon. And Jess Owens, who I'm sure many of you know, spoke highly of these two books, like a lot. And so the first one is The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. Jess hyped up this book, but so did like a ton of other people, so I'm really excited about this one. And then, because, you know, she's Jess Owens, or as I like to call her, the Amari Pusher, because she convinced me to pick up Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. So now I have this, and I wanted to read it, but once again, I'm easily impressionable. So of course, I got it. So that is everything. And if my math is mathing right, I am over by one book. Just one. If I had just not bought one book, there would be no book buying ban for me right now. But now I can't buy books for a month, which is probably for the best, honestly, because clearly I have 118 books. Unread books still in my house. Good time. And I read a ton of shit. So I won't be buying any books for April, but you know, I can't stop people from gifting me books. Although I don't think anybody will be gifting me anything in like the next 3 months because it's not my birthday. There's no major holidays where like gifts are a thing. So yeah, I don't think I'll be getting any books. So that should help. So I guess this kind of was like a haul in a way. But should I prioritize some of these books? Have you read some of these books? Like, are you like, Robin, how have you not read this yet? Get to it. If there are, leave it in the comments down below. It's my intention to get to all of these books eventually, at some point, hopefully. Please, God. How are you guys doing with your own goals that you set for yourself this year? I hope you're doing better than I am. Let's talk about all of these things down in the comments. And if you had a good time, think about subscribing, or don't. You could just keep coming back. But then I feel like if you subscribe, then you'll know when I make a video, and then you're like, did she make one? Did she not? You'll just know, But until next time, bye. Must be nice to have the life of a dog.